Brett, we're back with the details this week, and you brought this one up. It was way back in your memory bank, so I'm glad you had it. 2022, this is an Andy Reid play. 2024, the Chiefs get a touchdown off the same play, but a little bit better execution this time from the Chiefs in the second one coming up against the Saints.
Right. And, I think it's common for these NFL coaches to have a red zone bucket, particularly a low red zone. You talk about low red zone, 10 and in, where they're pulling from year to year because with the space constraints when you get down there, it's so different. So you've got to design your plays a little bit different. So they've got these they carry over from year to year, and as we see there, and we'll see as we roll the tape, the exact same play that plays out very similar except for one aspect of it.
So let's go over that aspect of it here, Brett. Let's talk about the side-by-side here. And obviously this bottom screen is against the Saints. We see Travis Kelce hand the ball off to Xavier Worthy. He scores a touchdown. If you want to take your attention back up to the top, this was 2022. Travis Kelce gets the ball, has it himself, and does not hand it off. He's still at the 9-yard line, gets a few yards, but not able to score. So let's kind of talk about this one. I know you mentioned this in the playbook, and Andy Reid has it. Power read is what it's called. What are we looking for from the Chiefs here, and what are they trying to accomplish on this play? I guess what are they looking for if you're Travis Kelce and trying to make this a successful play?
So the power part of power read is power is the blocking scheme. You're going to get down blocks or gap blocks on the front side, and depending on the front that you see, it's ideal if you can get a double team. Like you see here, you have what's called a 3 technique on the outside eye of Trey Smith. Him and Jawan Taylor are going to double him to the backside linebacker there. You're going to get a back block by the center. Tooney's going to what we call wrap for the play side backer. And then you're just going to get what's called a hinge backside by the tackle there. And it's going to be much like we discussed, I think it was against Chicago last year that we broke down the power shovel play that was in the low red zone as well. And it was, wide open, scored a touchdown. But it's the exact same blocking scheme up front, but you're just going to have a little different presentation. But the similarity between shovel and this is you're going to get a very lateral or horizontal presentation, but a very physical scheme, a scheme that's designed to get downhill here. And go ahead.
Yeah, you just described the power part of this. Mm-hmm. I want to get to the read part of this. I'm going to do this like a coach because it's always the triangle, Brett. I always see the triangle. The triangle's the read guy. So this is what Travis Kelce is reading. It's very interesting if you watch him. His eyes sure look like they're going this direction, but he must be peeking because this is the guy he's looking at. That's the read part of this. Tell me what he's looking at with this particular guy out here on the edge.
So he's going to key that edge defender there. And if he expands, goes out, or comes up the field, the design is for him to pull it and then get in follow the inside arm of the wrapper, just like you're running power with the running back. If he sits or closes down or slow plays, then you're going to hand the ball.
And you get that guy coming across, got a lot of speed, and you've also got McKinnon out here blocking. You've got a chance to score on this particular play because he's going to get this first guy out here. Maybe you have a safety hanging back here, but you're going to have a particularly good look on this one. So let's see. Tell me what happens with Travis Kelce here and what you see from him here.
So I think he kind of, maybe predetermines a little bit based on the wide alignment pre-snap of the defensive end. If you could roll it back to the very start, you can see that he is pretty wide there. So he's probably, cheating a little bit, thinking, okay, this guy's going to take the edge. I'm going to be able to have enough space to follow the left guard into the hole there and get some yardage. But as you'll see, he steps down originally. He steps down a little bit, and that's what defensive ends are taught because they're thinking a kick out block's coming now, right? Either counter or power's coming when they see that down block. So they're taught to kind of close that window a little bit so they don't run inside of them. So that's natural. So he steps down a little bit, and this is not an easy read. Now, these things are happening fast out here, so it's easy for us to sit here with a pause button and say, man, he screwed this up. But obviously this is, tenths of a second we're talking to read this. And as we watch, he's going to pull the ball and he's going to have to go back to the left a little bit because this defensive end falls back in and makes the play.
The guy, the read player, he's unblocked on purpose, is going to make the tackle because Travis Kelce didn't account for that guy because the person who potentially could beat this guy to the edge is, at that moment, Sky Moore. You got the block here. You got to beat this guy at the edge. So instead, we see, as you talked about, Travis Kelce gets brought down, 3 or 4 yard gain, something like that. Could have been a bigger play. So
And
now
one just
let's go
coaching
ahead.
point from, having experience coaching this play, I've always taught the quarterbacks, if you do have any doubt, go ahead and pull the ball, because a negative play, if you pull the ball, you're going to get back to the line of scrimmage or lose a yard. But if you hand the ball when you're supposed to pull it, you're going to lose 3 or 4 yards. So it's you're managing a little bit of risk there. So if there is doubt, you are taught to pull it and get vertical.
I feel like every details we will mention this too. We have to kind of highlight the blocking here. These guys up front are getting their jobs done. That's why Travis Kelce still gets 3 or 4 yards on this play, even back in 2022, because you've got Creed, Tooney, Trey Smith doing some work up front.
They're building a red wall there, which is exactly how the play's designed.
You might see another red wall coming up on this one too. So talk us through what are we going to see from this end man line of scrimmage? Let's give him his triangle, because that's going to be the unblocked guy. And what do you see from Travis Kelce on this play?
So he's going to step down. He's going to be a little bit more. He's going to step down a little further, than the defensive end for the Bills did. He's going to close that, thinking, okay, here comes a kick out block, right? We're defending power, we're defending counter, whatever it might be. So he's going to close that down, and you can see Kelce here now. He sees that step down, so he's going to go ahead and hand the ball, and they're going to have the edge.
Got a highlight here too. Carson Steele's had some issues with fumbles. Watch what he does out here on the edge as well.
Yes, he's basically going to, almost block 2 guys. I don't know if we call it a whiff, but he at least gets him out in the picture enough, and then is able to redirect back and pick up 24.
And again, Travis Kelce very fired up, very excited about this one, and probably rightfully so, because he makes this play. Again, the unblocked guy here is the one that he has to take account for here, and he does so because of that. Xavier Worthy is able to get around the edge, and he's the open player. The Chiefs able to take one of these defenders out of the play.
So, yeah, and on a power read scheme, it's obviously a front side. You're reading a front side unblocked defender, whereas zone read, you're going to read a backside, the zone blocking. If you're running zone to the right here, the blocking is going to be the right, and the defender's on the other side. So those, 2 read plays, just reading different sides. And then, of course, look, we got a double team there with Trey Smith and Taylor. They're going to get excellent movement to this backside backer here. You're going to get a wrap. The guys up front are just getting it done right now.
Definitely see that. And you can definitely see Xavier Worthy getting in the end zone. Again, Travis Kelce celebrating this. And this is the difference between these 2 plays. We see very similar things happening on this play. And again, kind of interesting with Kelce's eyes, both times look like he's looking that way when he's really peeking out the other direction, reading the backside end here. Or I'm sorry, the play side end here. So very interesting to see this play work one of these times and not work the other time. But again, credit to Travis Kelce, an old dog learning some new tricks, or at least reading it correctly because he read it correctly. The Chiefs able to get in the end zone.
And that's what you get when you coach, half percenters, generational athletes. Let's dust it off from 2 years ago. Hey, we ran it here. Let's go ahead and just run this, and we'll work on it in practice for 3 minutes, and you'll go out and execute an NFL game. It's so really good execution by everybody.